The Residents. I literally know nothing about them, but everybody seems to be really bracing me for something. My friend Andy Michaels, the host of Andy Michaels Live, AM Live on Jemp Radio, JEMP Radio. Go check him out if you like fish and jam music. But he did an interview with me a little while ago, and it was a great interview. Go check it out on their YouTube channel or on Jemp Radio in their archives. But effectively, after the interview, I was like, Andy, what would you advise I react to? And he very quickly said Duck Stab by the Residents. So here I am. I'm going to listen to Duck Stab by the Residents. So, yeah, I guess you have a Residents tattoo? That's a thing? Let's see. This is Andy's tattoo. He has a Residents tattoo. This is a eyeball with the top hat. And like the Monopoly man's outfit. On your forearm, bro. Unless you just have a really different foot. And, you know, I think that's your arm, though. Feel pretty good about that being your arm. Yeah. W's for Andy's tattoo. But, either which way, he said for me to listen to this. Now, when I announced that I was going to be listening to The Residents, I got quite the response in Discord. So, Rebecca, our Applebee's fan over there in the chat, says, if there is a hell, this must be the music they play there. Les Claypool of Primus about The Residents, one of his favorite bands of all times. She says, so this is a weird one. This is, without a doubt, the most mustard album you will hear on this channel. Maybe until someone requests Merzbow or John Zorn hits the wheel. For now, this will be 100% pure distilled mustard. Oh, gosh. That's what the Residents are, and who they have been since they were founded in 1965, and one of the first ever experimental bands, and without a doubt, one of the most influential. If you have heard any band that has even slightly weird or avant-garde, they were absolutely inspired by the Residents in some way. From Walt favorites like Ween and Devo to bands you should get deeper into like They Might Be Giants and Primus, to curveballs like Matt Groening, Weird Al, Penn Jillette, and Kesha? Everybody was influenced by the Residents. The Residents are also a very difficult band to get into on a first listen. Again, extremely mustard. They're more of a performance art collective than a band, not only making music, but films, plays, books, and shockingly good video game, okay? They are most well known for being 100% anonymous outside of collaborators, which help, like the guitarist on the album, the late, great Snakefinger. The band always performing, donning giant eyeball masks with top hats, preferring to put their art above their personalities. The art they make itself being extremely experimental, strange, and oftentimes disturbing to listen to. Many of the songs on here feel haunted, like the musical equivalent of To the Ring, a movie I never saw, by the way, because I'm a big baby when it comes to horror film. Believe it or not, guys, I really am like, you know, kind of a dork. And you need to know that this is one of their most accessible and poppy albums of their classic era. They became more accessible into the 2000s, where they still make 50 years later. They purposely twist on the pop music formula, trying to make a version of pop music that sounds completely alien and unique, and here ending up accidentally predicting what much of the weirdo new wave guys would sound like in the future. They would also basically predict MTV being one of the first bands to truly do music videos equally as haunting as their music, and in my opinion, a core part of the Residents experience. I understand that you don't really like to do music videos and album listens, but I'd like to emphasize that the videos are the other half to the Residents and what make them so unique and eye-catching. They were an extremely visual band, and the music video to Hello Skinny is one of the most important works in music video and video art history. It's in MoMA, like the rest of the Residents' work, for a reason. TLDR, be prepared to get weird. The album is not for everyone, and it is genuinely uncomfortable listen at some points. However, I think it is one of the most important albums ever made, predicting and influencing hundreds of musicians to come. Give into the weird, slurp the mustard, have fun. Okay. I'm a little... Okay. I'll watch the music video for Hello Skinny after this. Just because it seems like this is an important part of this, and I want to feel like, you know, I got the full bit, and let's be honest, what am I doing? I can't spare another 2 minutes and 43 seconds plus whatever dingleberry commentary I happen to have. So we'll go ahead and do that after, just again, and, you know, solidarity to the homie, Andy. But I'm going to hit the play button. Before I do, it's very important to me that you know that you are awesome, that you are valuable, that you are important, that you matter, that you are deserving of love, and that I am abundantly grateful for even a moment of your time. If you like what you see, feel free to hit the like and the subscribe button. It goes a long way to help me out. And if you really like what you see, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you, or join us on Twitch. These people over here are the best. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Arizona time. Come hang out with us and discover music. Guys, am I going to be uncomfortable? I don't know. This is The Residents, Duck Stab, Constantinople. Here we go. This is the intersection of, like, the song Technologic by Daft Punk in the lyrical take, with, like, Mr. Crinkle by Primus, with, like, the huh. Here I come, Constantinople. Here I come. All the leaves are off the oak, and all of the sheep have followed the spoken word. I'm coming, Constantinople. So I stand out in the open. All my friends are with you, I hope, and pray I'm coming, Constantinople. Okay. The polyrhythm thing here is kind of nuts. I'm also hearing a little bit of Ween, like, believe it or not, The Mollusk, the song The Mollusk, not the album The Mollusk, but it's like a browner version of it. Is it vocoding? What is happening with the lyrics? With the vocals? I don't know what they're doing. It's so uncomfortable, but also so fascinating. This is a train wreck where you might have a casualty, but you're gonna watch. You're gonna talk about how bad you felt about it later, but you're gonna watch. But like, people probably get okay. Like, if it's a train wreck, it's a train wreck with a cream pie on the very front of the train. So at least if somebody dies, it's a cream pie right to the face.
Here I come, Constantinople. Here I come, Constantinople. I am coming, Constantinople. Here I come. Here I come, Constantinople. Here I come, Constantinople.
That song is definitely not one I understand, and I don't think I'm supposed to. It was very interesting. One, I feel like I'm going to listen to again and wonder when I listen to it again if I'm going to like it again. I don't know if I liked it now, but I don't know if I disliked it now either. This is just as honest as I can be about it. I don't have, like, it's this one is not getting the plus button because I don't know. But I don't not know either, though. I don't. I'm having like some sort of weird combination of like acid flashbacks and cold sweats with like the slightest bit of interested anxiety. Like, they just put sound right in your face. And polyrhythms abound. And it's like you have two very weird things happening. It almost, I don't know if you guys are familiar with like binaural beats where they play like different frequencies in your ears at the same time, but this is reminding me of something like that, where you have this really high-pitched sound and jangly kind of bouncing sound over here, and then in here you have this really low kind of wobbly, wet, farty sound, and it's really creating like this dual ear thing that's got me kind of tripped up. You guys know what I'm talking about? I don't normally pause it, but the letters on the white letters on the screen are kind of going crazy because of like synesthesia. And it's not like it's just a lot of stimulation in my face right now. You know, I'm a sober dude, like sober as a bird, but the white letters on the screen are a lot in my face right now. And it's not like it's in my way. It's nothing weird. It's just a lot in my face right now. This is so overstimulating to me.
hedge. He calls the kids of Elmer Fudd.
The kids of Elmer Fudd.
Farmer hose. And divers filled with onion rings and feet are filled with gold.
Yeah, this album is a bad trip waiting to happen, dude.
Exaggerator wants your claim to fame.
And honestly, some of the sounds are like the sounds that you hear when you're on like too many psychedelics at one time.
Your favorite Ferlinghetti found in anti-mame. Your altar life is superseded only from above. Your heart is like a silken sponge that calls saliva love.
The polyrhythmic stuff, this feeling of having binaural beats in my ear right now, while I'm nearly sure that's not what I'm listening to, but it feels like it's doing the same thing. You ever done salvia? You ever done salvia? Because I've done salvia, and you know what happened to me when I did salvia? I got tricked into doing salvia by my older brother, and not a cool thing, right? I'm watching the movie Kill Bill 2, okay? I'm in a living room, and I'm 15 years old. Not a joke, okay? My older brother, not his best move, we'll say, but I'm 15 years old. And he's just sitting there, like, staring into space. I've never done a thing in my whole life at this time, mind you. And he's like, hey, Wally, try this. And I was like, no, I've never smoked a thing in my life. Why would I start doing that right now? I'm going to go running tomorrow morning. Why? I don't do that. I'm a kid that runs cross country. Wally, try it, dude. No, Bo, I'm not going to do that. Wally, try it, dude. So, of course, I say, well, how do I do it? So I take the lung bustinest thing I can. I don't remember breathing out. I look at my brother's face. All of the imagery in the living room disappears like it just got sucked up in a sheet behind my brother, and now he's just in a black abyss, and his face literally melts right off of himself, like he got Indiana Jones looking at, like that guy in Indiana Jones that looked at the Ark of the Covenant. Just skin to skeleton, like to musculature, to blood, to skeleton, to dust. And I am screaming at the top of my lungs in an abyss of nothingness, and I have no idea what's going on all around me. And then I am in my backyard with my brother, who's like, Wally, are you okay, dude? Wally, you're good. And I'm like, I start crying, and I'm like, Bo, I think I'm crazy. And I tell him everything that just happened to me, and he just starts laughing. And he's like, you're okay, buddy. You're okay. Don't tell mom. You're okay. Not a good time. In my memory, this a little bit brings me to that memory. My heart is beating so hard right now. So hard. Thank God for this sound right now, dude. Thank God. Just a guitar and a bass and a drum. Oh my God, I could cry right now. Oh. Good sounds. Oh man, this is such an uplift. It's almost worth having just heard that song to get this moment. Oh my gosh. I haven't talked to my brother in many years. Maybe 7 years, I think, was the last time we talked. Andy Michaels, I don't know what sick and like hilarious sense of humor you have, but I feel like I owe you one after this. Like, this is an experience and a half, and it really is like just snorting mustard through a $100 bill. But golly goodness, I just didn't know that any music ever sounded like this. This is the first experience I've ever had with anything like this. This is absolutely one of those things that I'm going to morbidly revisit and potentially repent for later. I don't know. I'm interested. It's got me feeling a lot of things, man. It makes my brain itchy. My favorite band's favorite band. I'm not arguing it.
I love you, and cause I do, my skies have changed from gray to blue. But blue's not just a color on the rainbow. Its shade is not a hazy hue, but pure.
Started out kind of sweet and eerie.
Sky blue. It's like a Roman candle coming, Rosebud.
Andy and I had a conversation about the dial or the spectrum, whichever way you see it in your head, of art versus content. 100% art.
Your words are empty, hollow bleatings of a middle crutch. They're open festering indigestion with a velvet touch. An ether-eating Eskimo would gag upon your sight, convulsed into oblivion from laughter or from fright. A coma with a sweet aroma is your only dream, malignant with the misconception that a grut can gleam. Your lichen-covered corpuscles are filthy to my fist. Infection is your finest flower, mildewed in the mist.
I love you, and cause I do, my skies have turned from gray to blue, but blue's not just a color on the rainbow.
It's like drunk Elvis. I thought that this was just going to be a juxtaposed love song with eerie lyrics. It evolved into a descending what the frig, the likes of which I've never heard in any other lyricism, with some of the just yuckiest, ickiest imagery ever. This album artwork is exactly what we're listening to. The weird side-eye smile, the unsuspecting duck, my friend who's got a knife.
Its shade is not a hazy hue, but...
And I cannot help but hear, like, Les Claypool is singing, has been inspired by The Residents, I think. Or, like, the music I've heard him make, because I've only heard, like, 4 or 5 songs that he's actually had his hands in. But when I've heard his lyricism, it's undeniable. But also, like Daft Punk 2? That's the one that's really got me here. Is like it's honestly one of the closest comparisons I have, but Daft Punk went like a so different direction with it. I can't say I know enough about Kesha to really give a fair answer on that one, Beta. Andy, I would not be surprised on my very small sample size, and knowing that you're a mega fan of both, I feel like yours would be a valid opinion on that particular thing. Yeah, Daft Punk, if they were on like the good Ludes, like the ones that Jonah Hill was on in Wolf of Wall Street.
Blue sky blue, it's like a Roman candle burning rosebuds, blue rosebuds, blue rosebuds, blue rosebuds.
Sonic Youth, for sure, though. Like, for sure.
Blue rosebuds.
The Pixies, for sure.
Blue rosebuds.
Hey there, Mr. Crinkle.
Well, the old leg with the red pig leg, thought a porcupine was his daughter. But he soon found out that she had the gout, and she often would wink underwater.
This is the fartiest bass I've ever heard, but all of the other noises that make it like kind of circus, like American Horror Story. It sounds like it could be Twisty's theme song. Twisty? That was his name from American Horror Story, right?
Underwater. Red rose, old big pig pose on the edge of a silver dollar. The end of his tail was a long neck nail. The place of his face was a scarf.
This song says it was released. This album was released in 2016. Was that its original release year? Or is this a remaster? How do we know that they were stone sober if we don't know who the frig they were? This is from 1978. I'm operating the whole time in this album thinking that this was released in the year of our Lord 2016, but this was released in 1978. That literally changes every single thing I thought about it up until this moment. Every single thing I thought of. $1978? I'm gonna burn some Palo Santo.
Bach is dead. Bach is dead. Bach is dead.
Why is this one of my favorites?
Bach is dead.
And what does it say about me that it is?
Bach is dead. Bach is dead. Bach is dead. Bach is dead.
1978.
Walking women want to see the Southern Cross.
1978. When did Primus originate? Yeah, that sound, absolutely whiteboard sound. Who wants to be normal? Nobody, apparently. 1990s. Primus was late 80s, early 90s. Yeah. Andy. I'm going to absolutely give you the mind blower of the year this year. So far, there is not another single album I've jumped into that has given me the visceral reaction that this one has. I don't know if I like it. I'm being honest with you, man. I'm so uncomfortable. I'm here for it, but it's like not all art is supposed to make you feel comfortable, right? Like not every single song is supposed to give you a warm hug. This is way easier for me to digest than like black metal. Like I once watched this music video of like people like cannibalizing one another and like self-exiting, and I just wasn't a big fan of that. Like that was a really hard one for me to swallow. One of the very few things that I stopped listening to in the middle of the reaction and just refused to post it. It's very rare that I've ever gotten to that point, right? This is not even close to that point. I'm so fascinated with it. But again, back to the train wreck with a cream pie, just like right on the front of the train. And the person that gets hit by the train just simultaneously gets slapped in the face with the pie as they're splatted by the train. It's like, somehow there's a silver lining to somebody dying by getting hit by a train, and that is this album.
At night, and so they set aside a sock and tie their laces tight. Yes, mournful is the melody that echoes in their heads. Without a beat, they march along, believing Bach is dead.
Bach is dead.
I also feel like like I know Primus does the South Park thing, but I feel like I'm constantly reminded of the South Park intro as I listen to this album. This is like the F Jam by Ween a bit. Is it a guitar? And the other thing about it that I've not thought to comment on, because, I mean, honestly, all of the noises I'm hearing have got me so far removed from what the instruments are actually doing. There are so many different layers and instruments to this. It's very much, I guess, kind of jazzy in its own right. But, like, the most disturbed, like, only a genius could make the music, but it's an evil genius who's just somehow, some way smiling about being a dick. But he's an evil genius, and you have to give him credit.
No, I'm gonna be my baby, but you see, my mama said to me, my son, I see the sunset lies about a baby bee. So if you see me, I'll be standing out on Broadway, confused, amused, but not abused, I'm making my own way. Straight to the top, I'll never stop, I'll die before my day.
Date. And they're still making music. How do we know it's the original guys? Or it's a rotating cast? Clowncore, also. Clowncore. It's getting so fast and chaotic. The polyrhythms. Spaceshipy noises, like we're messing with reverbs, or it's like we're making the sound self-oscillate, like with delays sounds, like twisting knobs. But it's like they did that with the whole tape sound. Like they ran the entire master track through a tape delay, is what it seemed like to me. I want to hear that again, because it felt like they ran it through an analog tape delay and then twisted the timing on it to make it, the whole thing, do a self-oscillating thing. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Is that what happened? Does anybody have a handle on how they might have done that? How did that noise get made?
What's a woman going to do but throw away her bread? You're feeling funny as she lies beneath the bed. She reminisces of the pungent Adriatic Sea. And she crawls and counts her cans and twitches like a flea. What she really likes to do is sit upon a pew and make believe that time is stopped and motionless as dew. Planes are stranded in the sky and trains are stopping too. She alone is laughing under eyelids full of blue.
A lot of these noises are way ahead of 78. And I feel like would go on to inspire video game score for a long time after this. Tell me you're not hearing like NES video game score throughout this. When I said earlier 1978 changes everything about the album, it friggin' changes everything about the album. The difference between this album coming out in 1978 and 2016 is the technology they used, the inspiration, and the reach that the albums had. I mean, to make these noises in 1978 is a lot harder than to make these noises now. And to make these noises now is stupid hard.
She scurries, hurries, worries that the wicked will receive their candy from a handsome man and coffee from a thief. She gazes at an hourglass and asks it if it cares, and then she wonders if the lizard
And I don't know if it's like a low arpeggiating bass or just a real bass.
likes his lettuce rare.
Like bass synth, I mean.
Yeah, the lizard. Lizard of the sea. Conspicuously alcoholic. Licks his tongue at me. Release me, lizard. Licky lizard. Blizzard of the bee. Moist is out of stock. You still dare me to die. Dare me to die. At home. Coating all my lungs with honey. Sticky coating runnies. Flea of lizard fly. Stop and blind. Flicker tongue is licking after baby. Feel me. Hide from the town. The tongue is coming. Cruising, oozing. Overland and under ashes in the sunlight. See it flashes. Try to fly and eat his eye. Believe in me. Don't 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 believe in me.
Feel a little heavy. I feel like everything I've had to say about this thing sounds like it could potentially be me dunking on the stuff, right? But like, I'm not dunking on it. I'm just truly experiencing the biggest mind F of my life when it comes to music. And I don't know if that's... I don't know if anybody's just sat down and hashed out listening to this album in its entirety on YouTube. But it's an experience. I'm actually gonna just run a quick ad because it's gonna make me do so in 2 minutes, and so I just figure I'll do it now before going into another song. I will be right back, guys. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Take some deep breaths. Maybe pray. Babies, we're gonna listen to the rest of this. This is... I'm going to lean back a little bit for this one. All right. Let's finish her out, guys. Semolina. Ween is all over that. Like, Ween is so the Residents coded. The high pitch and low pitch, like, it really kind of reminds me of Diener and Jeaner kind of singing off of each other. Also, I don't know if this is necessarily just mustard, guys. I feel like this is mustard mixed with, like, some expired cottage cheese.
She can see itself, the sunlight shining on the sea, reflecting from the flying fishes, wishing she could be a little piece of sandy blown above the ocean's breeze. But all she has is thoughts of all those fingers peeling seeds and leaving them to mold among the women who watching weeds. Semolina,
It's Vegemite.
at the shore she
I can't even say it's like solar garlic. It's like solar mustard. It's solar mustard. That's what it is. Solar mustard. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised. It got a plus. And I feel weird about it. This is one I'm confident I would like just want to come back to. And I don't even know why, because it's so weird. And I don't know what instruments I'm hearing. Semolina. I even feel like the voice of Strong Bad might have been inspired by this in some way. And Townley. Ho! Howdy ho! And Mr. Hanky. And I think maybe Strong Bad is like the vibe. Does Aqua Teenage Hunger Force exist without the residents? Real question. Dear birthday boy.
Legend has abound about the birthday boy today. Screaming eyes, screaming his mother looked away. Screaming eyes explode upon an apple pirate toad.
What?
And if an engine ate a plate, I'd laugh and live abode.
These are lyrics to inspire a reaction. It's almost like this is like a Dada album. Like if Dada, it's like the genre of music is Dada. This is Sonic Dada.
This itself we shipped and gifts against the door.
Oh, forgive us, dear, but making beer is what we should be, dear.
The bothered birthday boy said. The bothered birthday boy said.
Buy or sell or buy. Buy or sell or buy.
Happy birthday to himself.
Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me.
feel like this was a really abstract song about a really kind of sad morbidity. Proto-industrial, sure. This is a lot, dude. But at this, remember how earlier I told you I don't like horror movies because I'm a big old baby. This feels like maybe the closest I could get to enjoying a horror movie, right? Because it's sound, it's captivating, it's frightening, it's adrenaline pumping, it's a little bit like jump scare, not something you go out of your way to listen to every day, right? Like not lyrics that change your life, right? But like sounds that are just, what? There's so much to learn from it. And I made the comment earlier, like that not all art is intended to make you comfortable. Gwar. I'm so glad that you said that because Gwar is 100% a band that does not happen without the Residents doing the Residents. They just took it to like a heavy metal thing, like eating all their space burritos, you know? It was a different kind of thing personified in a very abstract, more sci-fi manner, sure. But, and of course, I've not seen like the video element to it. Like I recognize that that's a very big part of what the Residents do is like they're also visual artists. So that is an element that outside of just the little bit of artwork I've seen here and here, I don't really know much about it. But there's certainly this absurdity to it. And again, I can't but help hear what seems to be, you know, the ethos of Dada art presented through sound.
Happy birthday.
And even like romantic era art. And if you look up romantic era art, it's not romantic in the sense of like, I love you. It's like monsters and demons eating people. And they're classical paintings. So, like, that's the kind of thing I mean by romantic art. Not like, aw, look at those two embracing one another.
To me. Happy birthday to me.
Weightlifting Lulu. A lot of low end in this. A lot of arpeggiating bass sounds.
Sweet scented woman, your straight sounding name was weightlifting Lulu, but I'm not to blame for putting the gun in your granddaddy's hand as he was ingraining your face in the sand. The part of the pork chop
Wow.
behind.
The Rock Lobsters comparison with the deet deet deet. Maybe. I don't know if I want to jump that far in, but I could potentially see B-52s maybe taking some sort of inspo from this. Maybe. Cannibal Corpse. I think maybe. Rick Rubin certainly listened to this and took inspiration in his production, like for sure, absolutely.
The part of the pork chop that you left behind.
Brian Eno, same thing.
Breakfast and rendered me blind. I still want you, baby, and I miss you so much. I hated your body, but I needed your touch.
Wow.
Weightlifting Lulu forever is gone. Weightlifting Lulu forever is gone. Weightlifting Lulu is under the lawn.
Whoa. Just these. There is this like kind of indie post psychedelic rock band that I liked called Reggie and the Full Effect. They were never really like a huge band, but they have this song called Get Well Soon that I used to really enjoy. And this song is kind of bringing me to there. Not for the lyrics, not for anything other than kind of like this atmospheric sound. And maybe that they weren't even inspired, but maybe they were. But I'm definitely like, I don't know why, again, this one got the plus, but it's like morbid fascination, maybe. I don't know why I'm sitting here justifying I hit a plus on a song. Like I have to justify it. I feel like you guys are seeing a really dark side of me. I feel like you guys are seeing like a really dark fascination with me right now. The violin staccato sound here. I still want you, baby, and I miss you so much. I hated your body, but I needed your touch.
Well, Lady Lulu forever is gone. Well, Lady Lulu is under the lawn. Well, Lady Lulu forever is gone. Well, Lady Lulu.
It's like if Edgar Allan Poe's writing found its home in music.
Under the lawn. Well, Lady Lulu forever is gone. Well, Lady Lulu forever is gone. Well, Lady Lulu forever is gone. Well, Lady Lulu forever is gone.
Like again, the ethos of these things all feels like it's kind of rooted in that same madness. Beta, yes, I am thinking of A Telltale Heart. Absolutely. Which, by the way, I'm super impressed with you for that one, Beta. You really looked right into my brain there. These polyrhythm... Hang on. This is a new picture of the residents that I hadn't seen. The Louisiana... They're from Louisiana! No wonder my Tennessee bones over here are so shook. Again, I cannot help but think that the fish from Vermont really liked the residents. I'm hearing, specifically fishmen. Like, I'm hearing these polyrhythmic things happening right now. Like, and I absolutely feel like that. And again, now that we're talking about it, the song Way. I think maybe like the Mike songs specifically are residency. Trey and Fishman specific. Okay. The prickly hairs thing specifically. The wood block being featured as an instrument in this song, I know I've paused it a lot, but Krafty Cheese is really featuring the wood block here. And they got different tones for the wood block. These synth farty sounds. That's a glockenspiel boar. It sounds like cicadas are coming from me right now. Dubstep doesn't exist without the residents. Why is it called Krafty Cheese? It might be a samba. I don't know specifically. I caught that wood block sound and I couldn't help but like click to it. Analog synth magic. Yeah, that's all done with fingies, knobs, and patch cables. It's amazing. But why is it called Krafty Cheese? Why? It's so absurd. I wonder if Frank Zappa heard the residents first, or if the residents heard Frank Zappa first. I wonder if Frank Zappa was a resident. I love what is this, a clarinet? Or like the Middle Eastern horn sound.
One in a bathtub and grew so incredibly thin that even the end of an eyedropper sucked him in.
Oh.
Now Skinny never knew any questions, and Skinny never looked at lights, but Skinny sold
bass.
something.
In the songs I've heard of Les Claypool's on bass, I certainly hear the bass work taking massive inspiration. It's like Les learned how to play these bass lines that are done with a lot of synth heavy stuff with his hands. And that's so cool.
Every single night.
I mean, the vocals too, for sure. The two different clarinet sounds are like panned left and right. Les covered this? Sure he did. I believe it.
Skinny sold a soldier to me. Skinny sold a wife. Skinny sold a suction cup and a knife. Skinny found a Hello Dolly record in the hall. He sold it to a truck driver in the fall.
Skinny was born in a bathtub and he grew so incredibly, even the end of an eyedropper sucked him in. And Skinny never knew any questioning. Skinny never looked at the lights. But Skinny sold something every single night. He sold a soldier to me. He sold a wife, a suction cup, and a knife. An eyedropper is just kind of a suction cup when you think about it, by the way. Skinny found a Hello Dolly record. This is like modern, like trafficking kind of, but it almost feels like, are you guys familiar with A Modest Proposal? It's a work of literature that was basically a satire and effectively was like, hey, there's this Irish potato famine happening, and what we could do is actually, to like fix everything, we'll just send all of the Irish babies over to Britain and let them eat the babies as a delicacy. And it almost feels like it's in the same vein of satire as that, right? And there's certainly something, I don't know, I can't help but see past this. It feels like mega satire. And I feel like maybe there's an element of like, that's where some of the South Park vibe comes from that I'm hearing, is like, it's all that same kind of ethos of, and I know I've used that word a lot, but it just feels like I'm seeing a lot of the absurdist nature stuff kind of rolled into this. It feels like it's got a lot of influences, but has also influenced a lot of other stuff. Sadistic satire for sure. Brutal stuff. And are we talking to... Hang on. I just want to make sure I'm not misspeaking, but I'm pretty sure we're talking about Hello, Dolly. A Barbra Streisand musical comedy. Just for context for any of us. I.e. me. Fantasia's not something I'm familiar with. A Louis Armstrong from 64. Thank you, Garrett. This is the most disturbing song I have ever hit the plus button on. And the B-side, it hit morbid fascination level as I go into the last song. I am really kind of bothered. In an interesting way, but bothered. I don't know how many people that I could advise listen to this album confidently, but like, I'm kind of now got it in my head to like find a person to share this with that will like it. If just cuz. All right, the Electrocutioner album closer. Here we go. Okay.
Time for all the followers of doom is drawing near, deceiving no one, knowing nothing but the fight of fear.
My face kind of hurts from grimacing.
Smiling as I throw the switch, it takes away their breath. I see life as an interruption of death.
Like, do you think that they were raised by like loving families in Louisiana? The guitar tone there is huge. In the polyrhythms, dun 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 dun, and then dun 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 dun. Also, magma, fire, bagwan, the other one, and the nun. Giz is coded in the residence. Son of a bitch. doing this? Why? It sounds like electricity.
Playing with blackbirds, I wonder how the world could be a perfect place to sing about for anyone but me.
Is this a mellotron I'm hearing?
I see the shimmer of the dewdrops as I drink my tea. And when the foolishness is over, I am much more me. I wish that all the suffering and all the misery could.
It's got this like funeral procession, like old funeral procession kind of vibe sound to it, which makes sense because it's the Electrocutioner, which in theory we have electrocuted somebody who is now being funeral processed? Paraded? Okay.
Be consumed inside my room where switches set you free.
Saints go marching in. Yep. A funeral dirge, yeah. For the eyes gone blind. Sorry, Rush.
Where switches set you free, my friend. Where switches set you free.
As I drink my tea and when the foolishness is over, I am much more me. I wish that all the suffering and all the misery could be consumed inside my room where switches set you free.
Where switches set you free, my friend. Where switches set you free.
Rush is unbelievable. I kind of feel ashamed of myself for liking them. Morbid interest or fascination is the only explanation I have. I was so uncomfortable. And I'm going to have to listen to something that makes me not feel the way I feel right now. It's got so much heaviness to it, dude. But again, it's like, I don't know if you guys remember seeing the Elvis movie, like the one where Tom Hanks played the douchey doc guy, right? But it's like he had this quote that was basically like, you want to find something that people feel like they should look away but don't want to, or don't. And that's when you've got your show. And I feel like the residents in this album really embodied that to me. Like, I felt like I shouldn't be enjoying it, but was. And there was this like kind of fascination and also like when you get past what it is you're hearing it for its creepy stuff and you start picking apart its little details, which was something I did admittedly have a harder time doing early on. Like, again, it's not like it's massively lyrically genius, but it's not like it's not. It's sonic genius, but it's mad scientist. Like it's this album is the Oppenheimer of sound. I feel good with that definition. This album delivered to sound what Oppenheimer did to weaponry. There we are. That is how I feel about it. The Oppenheimer of sound. I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for the positivity that you show both to me and to one another. Continue to be the best. And until I see you next, be introspective and consider the birds. And shout out to my friend Andy Michaels and Jemp Radio for giving me this suggestion. I certainly would never have found this organically on my own at all. I am absolutely the better for having listened to it. Okay, bye.